Strike first, strike hard, and no mercy. That slogan is from Cobra Kai, and we're gonna make sense of it.
Take that.
Oh, it's me. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? This is Ted, and I'm with,
I'm Josh.
I'm Manuel.
and we're here to talk about the YouTube original series Cobra Kai. If you guys don't know what Cobra Kai is, that is a continuation of the Karate Kid. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what that is, and that's a show you guys gotta watch on your own. It's a movie. It has 3 movies. They're pretty good, and this takes place like
There's 4 movies.
yeah. There's 4. Which one's the 4th one? Is it the one that's not with him?
Jaden.
Oh yeah, okay. Will Smith's son.
Does everybody just forget about the Karate Kid with Hilary Swank?
Oh God!
That's-
I forgot about it again.
See, you know what's crazy? That's the one I thought you were talking about. I was not talking about that Karate
No,
Kid.
I was, repping my
Isn't
boy
there-
Jaden.
Isn't there 4 with what's his name? The
Daniel
Ralph
Lewis?
Macchio?
Ralph Macchio.
No, I think it's 3.
Is it 3?
Bro, he's the expert. Don't ask me.
Yeah, it's 3.
I know about Jaden, and that's it.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Who
talk
cares
about.
about Jaden though?
Me.
It was an okay movie. I'm not gonna lie, but
I hate it here.
It was okay because it had Jackie Chan in it. And that was it.
dude, they taught kung fu. It wasn't karate. What's this? Anyway, so back to Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is basically like I guess you could say sequel. No, it's not a spinoff.
I wouldn't say it was a sequel.
It's like a continuation. There you go.
Yeah.
Continuation of it.
Well, this is like such a weird thing. This hasn't been done yet, where we like pick up this like so far later.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
I don't like. I think Terminator has done that, but like Terminator's all about like time travel and stuff, so you can do that.
Yeah,
But this
I
is-
mean, let's not get into the whole Terminator thing
Yeah.
because that timeline is so fucked up
Yeah.
right now.
So this is I wouldn't know what to call this, a sequel or a continuation or like a revival or what,
Yeah,
because it's
I
like
wouldn't know what to label
it's
it either.
such
It's telling the story of Johnny Lawrence. Let's put it that.
yeah.
Yeah,
The kid who lost to Daniel San in the first movie.
yeah, the one who got kicked. Illegal kick.
Illegal kick.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it talks about him, and basically, since he lost to Daniel, I guess his life's been not that great.
And we all went downhill, dude. He
Yeah,
spiraled.
yeah, basically, and he hasn't lost the grudge, and every time every time something comes up, he's like, damn it, Daniel. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. So I was thinking we talk about the plot of the first 2 seasons, and then we go into the characters,
Okay.
and then anything else after that, and then the last thing we talk about is what we think the future. Heck is that? Oh.
It's an air conditioner.
You're fine.
You'll be
Okay.
thankful for it and hear it about
My
2
anxiety.
hours.
But yeah, and then but before we end, we'll talk about what we think will come in the 3rd season that has been announced already for next year.
Yeah.
So the plot of the first season basically you follow you follow what happened to Johnny Lawrence. He's like what? Not a
He's
a handyman, right?
like a handyman.
I was gonna say like
almost
contractor.
like a contractor.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Contractor.
Basically.
Yeah, and he doesn't like his job. Every time you showed him, he didn't like it. And then you see the life of Daniel, and he has it made.
Bro, he do.
Yeah, he runs his own car dealership, and it's like the best one in the Central Valley. And then eventually, just like they met in the first Karate Kid, they met again, and there was no different. They just held the grudge. Both of them held the grudges. I mean, when time goes by, you think you'll get over it, but yeah, not with these two. They just little back and forths, and then so eventually, what happens is that he gets fired. Johnny Lawrence gets fired, and then he doesn't know what to do. And all he could think about is when he lost to Daniel, and then that what made him to go open Cobra Kai. And then along the way, he met like Miguel. which lives in his. This was a kid who lives in his apartment complex, and Johnny didn't give it like a damn about him. Like he tried to introduce himself, but he didn't really care. And then, what happened? Was that before? I think I skipped it. Was it before he got in that fight before he opened Cobra Kai? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he opened Cobra Kai because he got in that fight, and then Miguel was like, "I need to know what you can do because I'm a wimp and people keep beating me up."
Yeah, Miguel is like, he has no type of how to fight at all. You know, he gets picked on, he gets bullied. Apparently, that's what he showed. And then they were beating him up, and then they ran into Johnny Lawrence's car, and he got mad, and he tried to tell him like, "Get out of here." But then the kids tried to step up to him, and then he beat him up. And then after that, that's when he opened Cobra Kai. So, how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about the way he opened Cobra Kai like that? Did you think like he needed to, or?
I mean, I think he needed something. And,
Yeah.
And he, I think honestly his intention at first was just for the money.
Yeah.
He saw it as basically like an easy cash grab almost.
Yeah, because that's all he knew how to do. You know what I mean? Like he was a contractor and everything.
He wasn't like a good contractor.
Yeah, he wasn't. Like basically, I could have did that with very little knowledge. Clean gutters, hang a TV.
Yeah, we've all done that already.
Yeah. So yeah, all he knew was karate. Deep down, even though he had pretty much basically when they showed him fighting, I mean he knew the basics, but he was kind of like sloppy with it. So he hasn't been practicing it since for a long deal of time. So deep down he knew that's all he really had.
Yeah.
And plus that's what is basically the grudge has been thinking about the back to the day when he lost.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think the reason he opens Cobra Kai, I think just because the way they set up the show, like the very beginning, is like having him and Daniel meet after such a long time, which is weird because they live in the same town, right?
Yeah.
Well, like different parts of the same town.
Yeah, because you see.
Well, they've kind of like flipped places now, if you think about it.
Yeah, because
yeah.
he used to be the rich kid. Now he's in
Johnny he lived in the rich neighborhood while Daniel lived in the rundown apartment complex.
Yeah, so they did switch.
Yeah.
So it is kind of weird that they hadn't like run into each other since then up until just right now.
Well, I'm sure Johnny did everything he could to actively avoid running into him.
Because you can see that when he sees the billboard and the flyers, like he's just like,
yeah. I mean, like he still holds the grudge, obviously, but he actively avoids having to do anything with him.
Yeah.
And of course, the only reason they end up getting, they end up meeting up again is because his car gets towed into Daniel's dealership.
Yeah, and the person who wrecked his car is friends with the daughter of Daniel LaRusso. So yeah, and then he finds that out when he goes to the dealership, and then it shows him like Daniel was just like, "Oh, dude, like he had like you could tell because it's so weird because when he sees Johnny Lawrence, like he's like thinks like they're buddies. Like, "Oh, dude, you look great, dude. You still got those long locks."
Because it's like two views of the same freaking like just like the same event. Like so that was for Daniel, that was his coming up, that was his overcoming stuff and all this and all that. For Johnny, it was the end of everything. It messed him up forever.
Really though, in the thing is too, in the beginning of the show, you can clearly see that Daniel's actually moved on.
Yeah.
For the most part, and it's not until Johnny reopens Cobra Kai that the old hatred comes back for Daniel.
Yeah. So and that's what because he like you said, he had like you could tell he moved on, and then like when they met up,
but he was kind of a dick.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get rich, dude. You become a dick.
I mean, you don't have to.
That's what happens.
Yeah, but when
money comes.
Yeah, when you met Johnny, like he was like all happy, and then he was.
I apologize to you guys ahead of time then.
When he met Johnny,
because I mean I'm already borderline dickish.
Yeah, you're gonna be super beyond. No, but you can tell when they're talking back and forth. Johnny just like, hey, dude, like he's putting on like oh hey,
what's up?
Yeah.
All right.
And And then he calls his friends over. Yeah, give me my car. And then he calls his friends over. This is the guy, this is the guy you punched or
no, whose ass you kicked.
Yeah, he asked you kick. He's like,
technically it was his face.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
So he throws a little jab there, but then he tries to throw it over. He's like, oh, that's besides the point, guys, And then he tried to help him, but yeah. So then after that, he basically opens Cobra Kai, and then he's handing out flyers. He's trying to get it out, and then no one's really coming. Everyone's like throwing it on the floor.
Well, I mean,
he went up to
his approach was all off. Like,
yeah.
He was like, come here if you want to learn.
He was still doing it the 1980s way.
Yeah, like if you're in the 80s, bro, you'd have like so many people. But this is like, we're in like what do we call this now? The teens, the aughts, I think is what they call it. Whatever.
What the hell are you talking?
Yeah, this year we're about to be in the 20s again. Let's go. But yeah, so it's just not gonna work. Like nobody's like.
They better not try to ban alcohol.
Man, I can't wait till we get to
I'd
this.
riot. So it's just a new age, and you can tell how out of touch he is. Like he's just like he's old.
But that's where Miguel kind of comes in and helps him too, because he goes on and he creates the website.
Yeah, he puts on the social media for it. You know,
and all that stuff.
Because one thing we didn't mention, Johnny Lawrence. Dude's stuck in the 80s. Like, he doesn't have a smartphone. His TV's like from
it's like a
fucking box.
And of course, what
his TV's old enough to buy alcohol.
But the funny thing is what is the first thing he does? What is the first thing he does when he learns that you can use the internet for anything?
And he goes on fucking like wet T-shirt contest.
Is that really what he did? I forgot.
Yeah,
he went basically. He started with that, and then he moved on to porn.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That's what they all do.
That's
isn't it?
even like an 80s thing. Like first you go on YouTube and like look for that easy stuff, and then you just dive into it.
And he did that all in like one night.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
So he met Miguel. Miguel was just like, dude, you gotta teach me. And then he's like, are you sure you can do it? Basically try to act hard. But Miguel was really important to what Johnny is, because you can tell like just him is changing. Johnny is just like, he didn't give a shit. He made fun of everybody. Like he even said like to the gas station guy. He's like, are you like? He even said like some racist stuff to him.
Oh yeah, he did. He does that a lot too.
He does that a lot. He doesn't give a shit about
He's not PC.
Not PC.
Yeah.
He's not PC at all.
No, he's an asshole.
Yeah. So that helps him out, because eventually you see as the show goes that Johnny's sort of like learning from him, because he's just like, dude, you gotta get your social media up, you gotta get this, and then eventually, as you see, he gets a laptop, he gets the smartphone, he goes
on Facebook.
Yeah, he goes on Facebook. He's like, what the heck is that? Like, oh, come on, dude, you had to at least heard it once.
it's it's crazy too, because he Lawrence does like make those small steps, but he makes them very fucking slowly. But with like all the kids, like they adapt to him hella fast. Like like for each of the kid characters, it only takes them like a little bit before they're like in it. They're like, yeah, Cobra Kai, let's fucking go. Kick ass, take names.
Yeah, and then who was the next person
to join?
Yeah, well, it was the
it was what was her name? It was the girl.
Yeah,
I want to say like Aisha, but that's one of the Power Rangers, I'm sure.
What the hell? Yeah, look it up. Oh, but before that, we see how Johnny's life is, and then all of a sudden we see how Daniel's life is, because Johnny's life was horrible, basically.
Yeah. And we do get a day in the life of Daniel, and just seeing how perfect everything is. And
fucking nice house, hot wife, 2 kids, one kid's
one's
cool,
an
one's an asshole, just like his father.
One's freaking spoiled.
He owns a fucking car dealership. He's living a fucking life, and then at the end of the episode, he's like, driving home, and he stops. He looks to his left, and there's Cobra Kai, and he's like,
no, nobody's allowed to do anything unless I say so.
No. And then
God, he's got like a freaking power trip too. It's like, oh my god. Like,
and then that's when he goes to the fucking what? I always forget what the hell it's called. The party at the. Oh my god.
At the country club.
Yeah,
the country club.
They're at the country club, and he brings over the one real estate guy who was actually
like
previously banned from that country club.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he brings, and then that's where we meet the daughter, it's friend, which I'm looking up. I didn't even get it.
The daughter's friend. Oh yeah. I forget. I forget.
And she was.
If it's Aisha, dude, I'm gonna flip a lid because that's like
no, it's not.
It's like the generic.
I
like,
really don't think
black
it
girl
is.
name from every like teen thing.
And then like you see, and then that's the thing about everyone about going to Cobra Kai, which we'll talk about all the other people, is that she was like a nice girl. She was shy, you know. She was like smart. You know, she did the nerdy thing, like the jokes and stuff, you know.
Yeah, she was a nerd.
Yeah, and then they went to that party, and then they made fun of her, and they because of her like her weight, basically, that she ate all the food or whatever. Dude, why can't I find her? She doesn't exist.
Just go to Cobra Kai's Wikipedia page.
Dude, I did.
It's not there.
But yeah, so
she's
someone
second.
take over while I look for this.
Yeah, so she's second, and then Johnny Lawrence, makes a little quip like, oh, well, we're teaching girls now. Girls can't fucking learn karate or whatever. He's old. We don't care. And then Miguel's like, we should give her a chance. And then doesn't she like deck Miguel or something?
Yeah, Miguel, because he's like, do it, like fight, and he's like, dude, he's a girl, fight.
Yeah.
And then he kicks her in the stomach, and she like tanks it. Well, she didn't think she falls over. He was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then that's when it was like that was what she needed, I guess, because then she just fucking tackled the shit out of him.
Yeah, and she like took him out, and then he's like, oh well, maybe I guess I can teach a girl, whatever.
Whatever.
she started
Johnny
stronger than
Lawrence.
she started stronger than Miguel did. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was like trying to teach Miguel how to punch. He's like, ow, my head.
Oh yeah,
hurts."
yeah.
You know. And then who comes after that?
Then it's
Hawk.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
the
nerdy
guy-
kids. They both come, but Hawk's the only one that like sticks.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also Eli.
Yeah.
Eli Hawk.
Eli Moskowitz.
Moskowitz. Bro, that name sounds badass. You should just use that name.
Moskowitz.
Yeah,
Oh
Moskowitz.
crap! It's Moskowitz.
Sounds like you're gonna fucking calculate somebody to death.
Bro, this is so bad, dude. They really don't list unless.
Go to the IMDb page.
Bro, I just left that to go into Wikipedia.
Bro, I swear to God, if I find this.
She's got to be in there.
But-
She's
but
like
yeah,
one
anyway.
of the core cast members.
But yeah, anyway, we get to Hawk. Hawk's a deal. Hawk's like, oh my god, he's
he's
one of the most interesting characters in my opinion.
He's the new Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah, he's basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing about this show. Like you sort of when you watch it, you kind of figure like, oh, Miguel will be like the new Daniel, and then which we haven't got to yet, which is Johnny Lawrence's son, which he has a son, and you
His
think
name's
that,
Robbie, right?
yeah,
His son?
Robbie,
Yeah.
and then you think
Rob
he's
Keane.
and then you think he's gonna be the new. Johnny
It's Aisha. It's Aisha. Oh my god.
Is it really?
Yes.
Where do you see
I was
that?
on the IMDb page. Her real name's Nicole Brown. Oh, Dimitri's the other nerd kid.
Yeah, that's the one.
Dang, why did it, dude? I scroll. They have her like halfway through the bottom, bro. She's there.
John Kreese.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, but so you sort of pick it up, but then until you see Eli, which is Hawk, and he's like he had what was on? He had a lip problem.
Yeah, he had a
a scar on his lip from a surgery he had because he had a cleft.
He had a cleft lip that got
Yeah,
fixed,
and then, you
but
know-
he still has a scar.
And then when like just like Johnny Lawrence, when everyone came to come join him, because Miguel's telling everyone, "Hey, dude, come over,"
Yeah.
And
He was
then
doing this thing to trying to like weed people out.
yeah, and then Johnny Lawrence, I forgot the name he called him. What do you call him?
He just called him Lip.
Oh yeah, what's wrong with Lip? Yeah, because he calls everyone like a nickname, Lip, fucking. Yeah, I can't remember.
Like
all
he
the
called
names.
somebody like a bitch or something, like
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
So and then eventually, then Eli left, and then he came back as Hawk.
Yeah, he went and got a mohawk.
Yeah, because the whole thing that Johnny Lawrence preached was flip the script.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was just like, dude, you're already pathetic. You're already this, dude. Just don't do that. Flip
Yeah.
the script.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people of them do that because you see that because the friend Daniel's daughter's friend she comes back and she's still nice when she's not there, but when she's like in it, like you don't, it's like not the same person because she's like
See,
aggressive and
But I mean, she is kind of aggressive outside too.
yeah,
Because they
Like,
all
sure.
start being.
I mean,
like,
she's not a complete bitch or anything like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
But she, she's sarcastic.
Yeah.
She's willing to make fun of people.
They
Yeah.
all like start doing that stuff that like made them so miserable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like time repeats itself kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're like not. It's like not as bad for the most part, but then like they get there, and then you like look at them, and they're like, oh, they're bullies now. Like there's no two ways around it. Like no, they're fucking bullies.
Yeah, and they all started to come more after when Miguel had that little altercation with Samantha's boyfriend. I don't even know.
Yeah,
his name.
well,
He was
at that point, it essentially became her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
because he was saying
the Asian
shit.
like football dude.
Yeah, the one who tried to act.
The
like
one
he was
that
innocent.
Johnny kicks the ass of in like
Yeah,
the
in the
first
first- the
episode.
first one.
And then because he was just tired of it. And, he was like, I had like basically no training, but I'm at a dojo. Let me just try to fight him. From what I learned.
Mhm.
And then he got like a good hit off, but then after that, this fucking Green Lantern in that movie just got beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they speak of Samantha. Samantha is the daughter of Daniel
LaRusso.
Yeah.
LaRusso.
Samantha LaRusso.
And she was also trained by Daniel when she was a little kid, but she doesn't do it no more.
Yeah.
And you see that later when it comes out. She comes back. But yeah, you can see all the people from Cobra Kai that are in there now. They basically take the role of the Cobra Kai in the first Karate Kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They just make it. It's just like how he teaches it. But as the story goes, you can tell that Johnny Lawrence is like, sort of like changing a little bit because I know
It's really gradual. Like it's very small, and because you can tell that his intentions are better than Kreese's was. Because Kreese literally was just like, we need to win. There's nothing else to winning. But he's like, I want you guys to be strong, and to be strong, we need to win.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So he ends up kind of in the same lane that Kreese was, but it's just his motivations make it a little bit better, but not by much, but just a little bit.
Mhm. And then on top of that, so we talked about Daniel, the lives of Daniel and Johnny.
Mhm.
I guess we could sort of talk about the conflict they have throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that,
Most of their conflict is just that they don't actually like talk. They just like automatically assume that the other person did something.
Yeah.
and really most of the time it's just Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's Daniel instigating the whole thing. If he would just sit there and, I mean, yeah, of course, when John Kreese shows up, Johnny reverts a little bit,
Mhm.
but he catches himself towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Unfortunately, by then it's a little too late, but we'll get to that. But I mean, it really is throughout the first season. It is largely Daniel that's instigating all the crap.
Because I know I joked about the How I Met Your Mother, how Barney was always like, oh yeah, Johnny Lawrence was the Karate Kid and Danielson was the bad guy. And it used to be joke. I used to not think like that, but then after watching this, I kind of was like, oh dude, he's fucking right. Because I think I texted you the first time I started watching it, like, dude, Barney was right. He was the
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, here Daniel wasn't. Okay,
Yeah.
he wasn't the bad guy in the first two movies, but he became the bad guy in the show.
yeah in the show, yeah,
Because he couldn't let go of what he knew Cobra Kai to be.
yeah, because
it's weird from a psychological standpoint. Because I mean I'm not like an expert, but I'm like read on the subject of like psychology. You see Johnny trying to overcome his trauma from Cobra Kai, from losing, from his old master, by gaining control of it and making it his own. And then you have Daniel, who's just outright refusing it because he has some negative emotions about Cobra Kai, having fought them, having been a part of it for a little bit, and like he's just flat out rejecting to deal with it as a whole, and that's where his anger comes from. You know, like he doesn't he thinks it shouldn't exist.
And that whole part about him being part of Cobra Kai, I actually forgot for the longest time.
I also forgot that.
You know, I forgot that in the second movie, he actually joins up with Cobra Kai when Mr. Miyagi originally refuses to train him to defend his title.
yeah, that's what bothered me the most because, like Johnny Lawrence, like Manuel said, he tried. You know, like he gradually kind of like, you know, but it's just like with Daniel, like I don't understand why, because like you said, a lot of it was just like they really didn't talk about it because he just seen Cobra Kai. He's like, no, No. It was, it could have been, under new management. No. Like, he didn't want it there at all.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing was...
To him, Cobra Kai might as well be the Nazis. Like, that's what he thinks.
Yeah, because, like, he had the whole thing, which I talked to you guys about last time we talked about this. Like, the whole scheme that he had about him wanting to buy the market, the
strip mall.
The strip mall where Cobra Kai is, and he's trying to buy it. You know, he takes the guy out who owns it to dinner or whatever, and he's talking about it. He was like, yeah, you do go out. I want to give back to the community, you know. And he's trying to sell, and the guy's like, no, I don't want to. And then eventually he has this whole argument with them later in a different episode where he's just like, dude, you don't even charge as much rent like you're supposed to. You're not even doing it. You're letting him give it for free. And then you find out, like, I heard that, and I thought that was just, like, you know, an argument. Like, he tried to buy it, and it failed. And then the wife comes in, and she's just like, so that whole thing with him was for you to gain his trust, to get him mad, and for him to raise the rent so Cobra Kai cannot afford it to be there no more. Yeah. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Like
for real?
Evil freaking mastermind. Like you said, I couldn't even piece that together. Like, I thought, I'm like, he's going to try and buy it out and then, like, kick him out, I guess. And I'm like, that's just that's simple logic. You know what I mean?
I think that was his original plan.
Yeah, but then you get to the end of it, and then like you start connecting all the dots, and like that's a lot of manipulation. That's so much.
And I'm just like, bro, like, and then there's other instances like, basically when I know we talked about it when the boyfriend, Samantha's boyfriend, the guy that Johnny beat up, comes over for dinner, and he was like, and he sees that he had a bruise on. He was like, he got into fights. I was like, that's all right. You can tell me. He was like, no, it wasn't a kid. It was
an old man.
It was an old man. And then he was like, Johnny Lawrence.
It's gotta be Johnny Lawrence.
Dinkelberg. And then he goes over and he's just like, you can't do that. You shouldn't beat up kids. And he was like, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say it's all Daniel's fault. Johnny didn't explain what happened, you know. But he's just like, you just go around. You open Cobra Kai for, he looks at his watch, a whole 30 minutes, and you think you could just go around and just beat up people? And then Johnny's like, I can do what I want. I was like, dude, tell me what happened.
Yeah, because there's some fault on Johnny's part where he refuses to explain himself at all, ever. He, like, if you question him, he's like, well, whatever, I'm Johnny freaking Lawrence. Let's do what I want. You know, it's like,
that's what Johnny Lawrence do, baby.
I'm like, dude, just, like, tell him, like, what's up, like, for real. But... like, he shouldn't have to explain every part of what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't be under so much scrutiny.
And then the most one that I was like, fucking course, was when he tries to register the dojo for the tournament.
Yeah.
And he was like, it can't be, you know, because
y'all been banned for life.
Yeah. So he goes to the chairman meeting to get it unbanned. He's there in his suit, and he has a suitcase. I don't even know.
He found it in the trash.
Yeah, he just brings a suitcase.
Found it in the trash.
And then he was like, hold on, we're waiting for one person. Here comes Daniel Russo. Excuse me. Oh, Johnny Lawrence. Cobra Kai.
Oh, Johnny Lawrence.
And he's like, no. And then he was like, no. And then everyone else is just like on his balls. He was like, well, if Daniel, the guy who won all those years ago and didn't do shit till then, says no, then it's going to be a no. And they're like, let's hear him out. So he gives this, I'm not gonna fucking.
Dude, I don't even think they show the speech. I think he just says, like, he just starts it and then they cut off and then.
No, he tells him. He was just like,
it gives him. He gives a whole speech.
Basically, he just says that, you know, I understand what the past was, but I'm not doing it. He was like, these kids need to know how to defend themselves and fight because they're getting picked on. It's self-defense. He just gives the whole lecture. Like when I heard that, I was like, I really believe him. Like, because, you know, we always think that, he's just using it for money. He doesn't care what happens to the kids, you know. He just wants the money. But then that point, I was like, okay, maybe he really does truly believe in what he's saying. And he's just like, I just want them to defend themselves because they've been picked on, you know. And then after all that, Daniel's like, yeah, no. He's lying. He's Johnny Lawrence. He's Johnny Lawrence. Don't you know who that is? It's Johnny Lawrence.
And it's crazy, too, because Daniel gives Johnny, like, so much credit as to being, like, way smarter than he is. Because he always thinks he's, like, planning something or plotting something or doing something devious. I'm like, no, he really don't think that far ahead. He's just doing it.
Only
he's
you
just
do.
Going. Like, you're the only one that puts them any thought into anything.
Yeah,
he's just going.
Yeah, so
bro, he didn't know, like, when he paid off the place, he didn't even know that he had to fix all the stuff up. He didn't know there's like an inspection he had to pass.
Oh,
he
didn't
know anything.
He just bought the place with his stepdad's money. He just bought it.
Freaking Ed, what is that guy's name? I forget what his name is. Ed
Back him up.
something. The guy from freaking Boondocks, Ed Wunsler.
Yeah. So and there's other stuff that happens that they all have this altercation with each other when it could just easily they don't talk about it. Like what was another one? There's like probably 3 in the first season, right? There's that one with he tells the kids they're getting beat up. Then there's a second one where
The second one is when Daniel's cousin, who's like the Jersey boy, you know, like tries to light his car on fire.
Oh yeah,
because he thinks he's some kind of gangster or something.
Yeah, and it's just like because what happened before that? Oh, the dojo. No, the dojo didn't get broken. What?
No,
what?
That's second season. First season.
Second season.
Well,
First
what made
season-
him set his car on fire? There was something that happened before that because he didn't just do that.
He thought he was doing Daniel a favor.
No, before this, I swear there was something that. Because he was like,
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
it
Johnny drew the penis on.
But
oh,
He
that's
drew the
right.
penis on
Yeah.
Daniel's billboard.
Yeah, he got drunk and drove. Yeah, and he paid like some graffiti guy in the alleyway and he drew the penis on.
Well, he didn't pay the graffiti guy to do it. He paid him to
Oh,
take
to get
over
the paint.
his paint.
Yeah, to take
and
the
then
paint.
he climbed up onto the billboard and drew a penis on Daniel's face.
Yeah, and then he found out that when they repainted it, they found flyers for the Cobra Kai thing up there, so they kind of pieced it together as Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And then that's when he lit the car on fire, the cousin, right?
yeah.
And then I don't know why he thought he was like the toughest shit ever. Like he came in with 2 big guys.
He
and
came
was
in with those bikers that he was talking to because he was like, "Oh yeah, I made a deal with these bikers for the dealership or whatever." And then you find out like, "Oh no, he was hiring these bikers to go run a hit on this guy's car." You know?
Yeah, and then that whole thing happened, and then he went there, and then Johnny went to the fucking place, and he was like, "You think you can have him do that?" And then that's the same thing. Fucking Daniel doesn't explain.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, "I don't know what you're doing, dude. I don't know." But he just like, "Oh, you're gonna come here and tell me what?" I'm like, "Dude, just fucking explain yourself. Tell him that his cousin, came and lit his car on fire. He can say, I had no do. Let me call and see what happened. Let's figure this out." But no, they just get in a fucking argument over it. It's just like, fuck.
Because they just started accusing each other of stuff.
It's you,
like,
it's you, it's you, it's you.
like, look what you did.
Yeah. It's just like, holy crap. And this is the first season when they almost got in a fight at
his house.
At his house, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what. See, there's so many times I can't remember what order they come in. That I know the car on fire is at the end.
Happening. And a lot of them are from like the kids stuff too. Like the kids like get into it, and then like they get into it, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of about their disciples getting into fights as well. Yeah, and then I don't really know what happened. I don't remember. I watched the show like already 5 times I think, and I can't remember what happened. But Johnny Lawrence ends up at Daniel's house, and then they get in an altercation. And they're about to fight, and the wife's like, "Guys, you 2 grown men, let's go eat breakfast." And he's like, Johnny's like, "I could eat."
And then that's me.
And then
me.
And then they just fucking eat. Like it's like, what the fuck,
bro? Dude, that's me.
And then we could talk about the one time they actually had a civilized thing is when they went to the bar. And then they were drinking, and then they test drive the new car that he was gonna give him.
Yeah, he was gonna give Johnny.
Yeah, because he burned down the.
I mean, that's not the one. I mean, it's the one time
in the season.
in the
season. Yeah, the one. Yeah, there's another one.
But it's not the. Yeah,
and they go to like
the place where Daniel's
old apartment.
Yeah.
And then they talk and all this other stuff about like their moms.
I think that's when they find out that he finds out that Johnny Lawrence was basically not abused, but he was like, "Oh yeah, well, you lived in a nice mansion, right? You had a good life." And he was like, "I wouldn't call it a good life." And then that's when Daniel, I guess, fucking finally finds out that he's like he never lived that good life. That's why he went to Cobra Kai because he didn't have that good life. And and then they get together, and they're singing. They like the same band or whatever was playing. They're singing it, and they're about to have that good. Oh yeah, they're about to have that good. Come on, let's go in. Let's come into Cobra Kai. Let's just were they gonna like spar or whatever?
I don't remember.
I forgot. But then that's when he finds out. I think it was. What did he find out? Or was it the other way around? Oh, was it the other way around? What did he go to?
Something happened.
Did he go to Daniel's dojo and then he found out about the son, and then that's when they freaked out?
No,
that is what happened, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I swear to God, that's what happened. Yeah, because he finds out about his son working for Daniel, and then that stuff.
And then he was like, oh yeah, you're not the only one who's a teacher. You know, look, I got
Yeah.
that. And then he finds out it's his son, and he pushes him into the thing. And he was like, that. And then he's just like, oh, you think you could just get back at me because you have my son? And I was like, oh my god, just explain it. It's just like,
Yeah.
the fucking Robbie was the one who just fucking wanted to destroy his own dad's feelings.
Well,
Fucking,
that doesn't happen until was that season?
That was
one?
season 1.
yeah, that was season 1.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little confused here myself now too.
Yeah,
Because when did Daniel and Robbie go on that little trip together?
That was also season 1, I want to say. Yeah, because because that's like right before the karate championship.
Yeah.
Was when that happens. He finds out that's Johnny's kid, and then he's mad at Robbie for not telling him that.
He chooses not to.
And then so they like kick him out of like their house or whatever, and then he goes into the tournament
he hasn't
without any affiliation.
Robbie doesn't start living with them until season 2.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, but still, he stops seeing them.
Yeah,
and
he
then-
basically stops teaching him.
And we
Yeah.
didn't really talk about Robbie, but Robbie, he's the son of he's the son of Johnny Lawrence. I think I said that,
Yeah.
but he already lives in a shitty situation because his mom
mom's
is
a fucking
Yeah,
slut.
his mom just goes around and has sex with people apparently.
She's like
And she leaves him for days at a time.
Yeah.
she's not even like a prostitute. She's just like a gold digger.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
'Cause
exactly what she is.
Because it's not like a business you can see with her. It's like she's like,
She's
I'm
just-
just gonna squeeze all I can out of a rich guy, and then
dip.
Not even a rich guy. She's just basically finding a guy that she can
Get food from, whatever, get something paid. Yeah,
Yeah, and
then,
she's only worrying about herself. She's not worrying about Robbie.
and we don't find
Yeah.
that out until freaking Johnny gets a call from the principal, and he's just like, "Who?" And he was just like, "Your son was found with Molly." Who's Molly? You know, it's a drug, but
Yeah.
he's like, "Who's Molly?" Is that the girl he's hooking up with? And the principal's like, "Okay." he was like, "Can you just call his mom?" He's like, "We tried." So he's like, "Oh, put him on the phone." He's like, "Dude, what the hell? Drugs?"
what the
You're not my dad. It's just like, and then he
all
just
that. So there's a lot of tension between those two. They don't get along because I guess he wasn't around,
yeah,
and him and the mom don't get along. The mom's terrible.
yeah.
you know.
Johnny wasn't there for when he was born either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's a lot.
Yeah,
Too
Johnny
parallel.
was across the street in a diner.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you know what? And then I mean, you can sort of say like Johnny went to the mall and found her fucking trying to hook it in the in that one bar or wherever they went, and he was like, "Just let me take the kid." And then he was like, "Oh, you think you could be father of the year?" He was like, "Unless I'm not leaving my son do drugs and skip school," and which he had a point. And then that's another thing, they don't explain it because he doesn't tell Robbie that I try to take you, but your mom doesn't want to give me you. But then Robbie just finds out that Robbie sees that
He hangs out with
Miguel, and then that's when he has this master plan, like fucking Daniel. He's like, "I'm gonna go work for Daniel. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna get into his ranks, and then I'm gonna have him teach me karate so I can fight that kid at my dad's dojo."
Actually, he never intended to learn karate in the first place.
Yeah, but in the sense of like,
But he pieced that together as he went. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go work for Daniel and make
Well,
him
and that was the whole
make
thing.
him love me.
No, the whole thing is that he was gonna work. He wanted to work for Daniel in order to make his dad mad.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was it. That was it.
But
The whole fact that he ended up becoming Daniel's first student essentially was pure happenstance. It
Yeah.
wasn't meant to happen.
But in the first episode, oops, my bad, I heard that one. In the first episode of the second season, he even says when they're in the hardware store, because I watched it because I was watching it when we were eating today, that he even said that, "Oh, my dad's gonna be so mad that I'm being trained with you. That'll teach him right." So at the end of it, like sort of what I said is basically true because like he wanted to get back at his dad, but that's again not explaining. He was like, he could have just told his son, like, dude. But then at the same time, they had that same episode when he tried to get his son back. The mom, I already forgot. Miguel's mom didn't want him to do martial arts anymore.
Yeah.
Do karate, and then he was like, and then it shows him someone opened the door. He was like, "Please let me one more chance." And then it ends up being, which we think, I don't know if you guys thought about, which we think is the mom, his mom, baby mama. And talking about Robbie, but he's actually talking to Miguel's mom, saying, "Give me one more chance." And then at the same time, that's a dick move. but still, a lot of explanation in the show. Whatever. But then that's how the drama kicks up, and then that's basically. And then I guess we could just go to the tournament. You know, he's trained under Daniel, and then
because this is where it gets back into like reflecting the first movie a lot.
Yeah. As I like to call it, it's the anti-mirror.
Yeah, and then some people from Cobra Kai lose. They do pretty good, and then they lose. Hawk gets kicked out because of technicality. Because I think he attacked him when he was.
Yeah, he
attacked him when his back was turned.
Yeah, and he like hurt his shoulder.
Yeah. He was Robbie. Yeah, he attacked Robbie when he wasn't looking, and then you get the fight between Miguel and Robbie, and then it's sort of the same thing. Robbie's hurt with his shoulder, and then instead of he didn't tell him to go for the shoulder.
Yeah. But it was just all the training that instilled in him, the no mercy, the strike first, strike hard, all that. He took all that to heart. Like he took it as it was told to him. He didn't like process it, like critically think about any of it. He's like, no, this is what you said. This is what I'm gonna do. And then like this is the point where Johnny's starting to see like, oh shit, I really was just feeding him the same formula that fucked me up. You know what I mean? And so, but he ends up winning this one.
Yeah, Cobra Kai wins.
Yeah.
Didn't Miguel use the crane technique at one point?
I don't think so.
No, it was yeah, Miguel used the crane. It was the very first fight he was in.
Okay,
basically
that's right. And it was Johnny's way of like
showing him like
rubbing it in against Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention that Miguel and Samantha date, which is Samantha's the daughter of Joe, and then they break up, and then that's because I guess he was calling her because she was grounded, and he was trying to call her.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't answering, so they went to a party. He got drunk, and then he just like, oh, you're with him, and then he accidentally I guess they were going to fight.
It was another mirror of the scene from Karate Kid where they're at the party.
Yeah.
Kinda, and then Johnny like accidentally hits his girlfriend or something. If I remember.
Yeah, but then it's Miguel who hits Samantha, and Samantha's like, "We're done," basically, and that's why the last fight was so crucial because he was like, "Oh, it's your fault." You're learning from fucking the two sensei. That's your fault.
Yeah, just it's so much because it's so much of the drama is just him like absorbing off of each other and all the
just the
negative
energy
stuff.
they give off.
And because it's weird because everybody's trying to like learn and better themselves, but none of them are getting the job done because there's just so much happening. It's like slowly happening.
Johnny's slowly going forward, but then Daniel's slowly going back because from his perfect life, he's just like doing like the dickish things. And then at the end of it, Johnny goes home after the tournament. They win, and then someone comes in the door, and it's his old sensei, which he said was dead. I forgot to mention when he tried to get the stuff reinstated. Yeah. Daniel tried to say, "Oh, is Kreese coming back?" He goes, "Kreese is dead," and they were like, "Oh crap, he's dead."
I think everybody actually believed he was
dead.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
Because there was no reason for us to not believe it.
Yeah.
So, but did they explain whether or not Johnny lied, or if he also just thought Kreese was dead?
No, he legitimately thought Kreese was dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So then
I thought he would like the actor would be like legitimately dead because he was already hella old when.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I thought so too. I was like, oh okay.
Because Mr. Miyagi's dead. I'm like, oh.
You notice though that when they show Miyagi's grave, they actually had Miyagi pass away some years after Morita passed away in real life.
Yeah.
So Miyagi actually outlived his actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kreese walked in the door and he was like, "Oh, I like what you did. Pretty cool, dude. I always knew you.
You won the fucking tournament.
Yeah.
I knew you could do it.
I knew you could fucking do it. Took you long enough. Yeah, but then that's basically season 1 in a nutshell. And then season 2 is just like, what'd you call it? Like more drama? What you said?
It's absolutely more drama.
It's more drama.
It's more teen angst.
All of the teen stuff gets amped up.
And I think the first season did a good job of it just being like the adults, I guess, sort of thing, and the kids were just in it. Now it's just like the kids are in it and the adults are just there. I mean, they're not just there, but they're doing their own thing as well. But the kids are the one.
The only two adults that really are, well, I should say 3 adults that have a big role in season 2 are Johnny Lawrence, Daniel LaRusso, and John Kreese.
Yeah. And so they like because at this point the show, like, because before it was definitely like a lot of stuff was being pushed by the teen drama, but at this point it's like entirely driven by the teen drama. Like that's where all the fuel is. Like there's some sparks and stuff from like the adult stuff, like the tensions between Johnny and Daniel is still there. They still kind of move stuff. For the most part, the gas is all the teen stuff. And
I don't count that man child that is in Cobra Kai as.
You mean Stingray?
Stingray,
that's my boy.
And it's and then
he's not an adult.
And then this is the point too where a lot of the kids start being used as like pieces by the adults, and so like the adults' intentions end up being acted out through some of the kids. Like Kreese starts like tutoring Hawk specifically because he sees that Hawk is like. He's like
Johnny Lawrence 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this is what happened when I teach.
And you notice too that Hawk has far more the killer instinct than Johnny ever had.
Yeah,
because even when Kreese told Johnny to go for the knee or go for the leg, in the first one he hesitated, whereas Hawk never hesitated once.
Yeah,
like he was totally okay with getting himself disqualified in the tournament if it meant setting up his team for the win.
Yeah, and Hawk is just like, you see him just being entirely ruthless this whole season.
Yeah,
with his because his old friend, I forget his name now. What's his name? Dimitri tries to reconnect with him even after they fought. You know, like, and he tried to like beat him up multiple times.
Yeah,
you know, and like there was all this stuff between them. Like Dimitri still tries to reconnect. He's like, yeah, you're still my friend. You know, I still would like to be friends with you. Like, it's like I don't entirely agree with who you are and what you're doing, but I still care about you and I still want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
And then Hawk just is like, well, that's because you're a pussy. Like, yo, you only like if you were a real man, you'd just fucking fight me and hate me like you're supposed to or some shit. You know, and then he like starts like ripping into him at a party. You know, and like start making fun of him, like, oh, this and that, and like whatever. And then they start another fight.
Yeah.
And it's like he has no conscience anymore, at all. Like nothing. Like even with his girlfriend, you saw like he didn't like actually care about her or like respect her at all, and that's why she left him.
I don't know if it's that he doesn't have a conscience anymore, because you see a piece of that old Eli come out. You know, when when Dimitri's talking to him. Yeah. But it's like. And then when people start laughing at him, that's when the switch flips back again.
Yeah, because you can tell like he's been made fun of a lot.
Yeah,
and I guess that's what's.
I think he's actively suppressing. Like,
all the anger,
like not the anger, like the all the good parts of him. You know what I mean? So like the part that would have been friends with Dimitri, the part that is still into like that nerdy crap.
Yeah, because he thinks that's weakness. Yeah. He thinks that his old self represents weakness, because we saw how easily he slipped back into his old self too when they started talking about Doctor Who.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a new doctor. Like, oh, it's a girl. He's like, oh, no way, and he's like really excited, and like his whole tone of voice changes, his body language changes. It's like fuck, like where did he go? Yeah, you know, and it's kind of sad, honestly. It's just sad to see. That's he's like I said, he's for me personally, he's the most interesting character. Like he's not like the most like heroic character. Like you know, like I don't expect anybody to be rooting for him, but like I am invested in him specifically, and I want to see how his story turns out in the next season.
Yeah, with this whole you can say this whole season is basically Team Cobra Kai versus Team Miyagi-Do. Because that's all you see. Because after they win the tournament, all these people come out of nowhere, like not out of nowhere, to come to Cobra Kai, and then
a bunch of them leave.
Yeah, because they can't take Johnny's and Kreese's like their
That's just their teaching style.
Their teaching style,
ruthlessness.
Yeah.
Because they do not baby them at all. They're like no, you're gonna adapt to what we're doing, or you're gonna die or something. You know what I mean?
And I wouldn't say Daniel babies his students, but he's more understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like half of them halfway through, half of them who are at Cobra Kai go to Miyagi-Do, but then you have but before that they got into a huge fight, right? Because when they went to Miyagi-Do, they
right. Well, they had the huge fight in the mall, where basically Sam and Robbie beat the ass of the entirety of Cobra Kai.
Yeah, everybody but Miguel. Yeah.
Because Miguel was out with his new girlfriend at the time.
Yeah,
Peyton
what's her
List.
face? Oh yeah.
Fucking love her.
Peyton List, whatever, it was. Is it Terry?
Fuck. Was it Tori with the I or with the L?
Tori. It's Tori.
Yeah.
Tori with a Y.
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Because we think she's we'll hold off on that. We'll hold on that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's another one of the dramatic aspects they had because Miguel and Samantha broke up in the first season. He gets this new chick who's like perfect like Cobra Kai material, and then she already knows karate for some reason. And it's just like
it's not that she knows karate; it's that she knows how to fight.
Whatever.
She knows how to defend herself.
And so she's like the anti Samantha, and like Miguel's like, oh, I'm into it. I like it.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, and she's like,
you would be.
And she's like, and so she's kind of the Robbie in that side, but because she's in the Cobra Kai side, she's not like bettering herself at all. She's just using what she already has to like, to get better at it, you know what I mean? Whereas Robbie's like trying to undo his like criminal past, like he leaves his freaking his trio of freaking scam artist friends, you know, and so he's not doing that stuff anymore and all this.
We
other
actually
stuff.
get to see Daniel kick a little ass in this one.
Yeah, which is weird because I thought of he would have done something in the first season, but he really didn't.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one scene where he almost... Well, actually, no, that's in the second season as well. Where he storms into Cobra Kai after Miyagi-Do gets trashed.
Yeah, that's second season. Yeah, and then like Ted was saying, this is like where there's a lot of Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai stuff. Like the
rivalry between the schools becomes very, very evident.
Yeah,
prominent.
And so like somebody trashes Miyagi-Do, and Daniel's like, oh, I knew it was somebody from fucking Cobra Kai, but Johnny doesn't know anything about it. He has no fucking clue.
Yeah, no.
You know,
that was
Kreese is sitting there laughing.
Because it was Kreese did it without telling Johnny, and then they start like, and then Johnny like he knows one of his students did it. Like he knows there's like literally like he already knows like nobody but us would do that, and like I can't think of a reason for somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Unless they were Cobra Kai trying to like teach a lesson. He's like, and he's already come face to face with the consequences of him teaching his kids the way he does, and what they're willing to do without him having to tell them to do it.
Right.
You know, and so he's like, he's trying to own up to it again. He's like, this is not what we do. So I need whoever did it to tell me right now, and you know they don't eventually, you know, and I don't know where I was going with this. I lost it.
Yeah, but they don't tell it because Hawk because we know who did do it. It was Hawk.
Yeah.
And then Kreese does that little joke. He was like, "You guys don't know who did it? I knew who did it. I know who did it." He was like, "It was Hawk," and Hawk is like, "Fuck." He was like, and then it was him and you and you. It was all of us. You know, basically saying like we're all because one of us did it. We all did it, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's how Kreese is just like and then Kreese is just trying to like get what he really wants out of it because I know he tried to. Basically, he came at Johnny with the, basically I'm sorry, maybe he wasn't.
Yeah, because he hit Johnny with that that shit that Johnny was like ready to hear. He's like, well, if you can try and change yourself, why can't I try and change?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so Johnny like fell for it instantly. He's like, well, I guess I was being harsh, and which he had every right to be because Kreese fucked him up. He fucked him up for life.
Yeah,
and. But he tried to come at that with some more understanding, which honestly is more than Daniel's ever done for anybody.
Yeah,
like at all. Like he has never been that understanding with anybody, as far as I've seen.
Yeah, and then because you find out Kreese is he's homeless, basically living at one of those
the vet shelters.
Yeah, vet shelters. Because at first because. Johnny seen that was something up, and then he followed him because he said I forgot where he said he was going.
He said he was staying at some kind of big hotel.
Yeah, and then he called the place and he was like, "You don't have anyone under that name." And then he followed him, and then he found out And I don't know if he intentionally wanted to be followed, but then he found out, that he is basically living there, and then, that's when he played a little bit more.
Yeah.
To like, whatever. I guess you could teach here. Yeah, but intentionally he's just setting up things for like what's to come.
Yeah.
Because eventually, one of Johnny's friends is really sick with cancer. It's one of the core people he hung out with from the original Cobra Kai group. And then he goes on this whole
kill him, Johnny.
Yeah, and then to sum this one up a lot. So basically, he goes to visit them, and they go on this big bike trip because this is like his last hurrah. He gets 24 hours able to go, and then they basically, he passes away during the trip because they go camping, and then when he's gone, Kreese is in charge, and Kreese is just like teaching it like from Cobra Kai, from fucking Karate Kid. And, he's teaching them, like, all the hard stuff, and then when Johnny comes back, they're like, oh, that's not what Master Kreese taught us. And he's like, what did he teach you? You know what I mean? Like, because he was gone the whole time, and that's what his master plan was, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to
take the dojo back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes, like, more and more obvious. Like, he's trying to, like, turn the kids against Johnny. Mm-hmm. He's trying to, like, usurp him. He's trying to, like, be, like, the better teacher, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. Like he's trying to like teach them harder, better stuff. Mm-hmm. And so like that's something you see throughout the whole season. And then pretty much most of the season, I want to say honestly, is just a back and forth between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai.
Yeah, a lot of fights.
Like going at it, like one person does something, somebody does something else.
There's some love drama, like Tori and Miguel start dating.
Yeah.
And then Robbie and Samantha are dating.
Yep.
And then
near the very, very end.
The episode. It's the second to last episode. They're at this.
They're at another party.
Yeah, they're at another party, and this is the episode where we see that that Eli is still inside Hawk somewhere.
Yeah.
But basically, Tori is outside. She's beating. She's chugging back beer, beating everybody, and Sam is just like done with all the little bullshit that Tori's been spewing towards her, and decides to try and show her up. Yeah. And so they're sitting there fucking throwing back beers, throwing back shots. Yeah. And so they're both fucking hammered, and of course, Sam ends up winning. And then Tori storms off.
So you guys know the game that they were playing was like a balancing game, or you like balanced on one foot on like a stool, and you had to like drink beer and take shots until you fell over.
Yeah, the first one to fall lost.
Yeah.
And honestly, so then Tori storms off after that, and then Sam starts talking to Miguel, and they end up fucking making out, and
because I don't remember what happened with Robbie that made her like do that, like, because I know something happened with her and Robbie, and I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah,
but she gets drunk.
No, I just think she gets drunk. I don't think there was a reason, because like even after that, because they go back to school the next day, remember, and they're all like, oh hey, like he wasn't mad about anything. He was just himself, because he transferred to the school. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it was. I think she was just drunk.
Oh well, I mean, we also okay. So it may not have been the.
Second... I remember what it was. Miguel came by with Miyagi's freaking medal and gave it to Robbie, and Robbie kept it a secret.
Yeah, because he didn't want it to look cool. Basically.
Yeah, and so she found that out and was like, "Oh, well, Miguel's not a piece of shit like I've been making him out to be."
Yeah.
And like Robbie's actually kind of lied to me.
Yeah.
And so that's what leads her to like talk to him. She starts talking to him.
The relationship and.
Yeah. And when she talks to Miguel, I guess that like stirs up some old feelings, and then they kiss. Yeah. And then we get to the last episode where everything like fucking culminates. We're like,
well, before that though, when Miguel and Sam kiss, Tori sees the kiss, which precipitates everything in the last episode.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. The party was not the second to last episode. It was the third to last episode, because the second to last episode is dealing with the aftermath of the party.
Yeah.
Or at least parts of it, because Sam tells Robbie not to take her home.
Mm-hmm.
And so he takes her to his dad's house, and then
Daniel
Daniel finds out that she's there, and he storms in, and all
Then
hell
it's
kind of breaks
fucking
loose between them.
No explanation. Part 5.
Yeah, he didn't care. Like, my daughter's at your house.
Oh, and then they fought right there. Yeah, and then they fought. They fought for
that's
real.
when they actually did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny and Daniel fought, and then he broke his fucking TV, asshole.
God.
Yeah, but then the Robbie asked him not to tell, but then I forgot. They forgot that fucking the LaRussos are fucking rich, and they have like the GPS shit on the phone, and he finds them.
Yeah.
And
So Daniel kicks Robbie out of his house after that, and so he goes with his dad, and then now we get to the last episode of season 2. So it's first day back at school, first freaking day back at school.
so fun happens.
And Sam's still reeling. She's still trying to wrap her head around the fact that she kissed Robbie, but yet Robbie,
she kissed
but
Miguel,
she
but
kissed
she's
Miguel,
dating Robbie.
but she's dating Robbie.
Fucking
I
teenage
eventually,
stuff.
I eventually think she would probably have forgiven Robbie, because Miguel had become quite a bit of a dick.
Exactly.
And so I think they would have, it wouldn't have mattered in the end.
Yeah.
But because of the kiss between Miguel and Sam,
Tori saw it. Tori, she's about to start everything.
Beautiful.
And you see it in her fuck. You see it.
The morning announcements come over while they're all in their first period class.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you hear
Like a
something
struggle.
going on over the speaker, and and you hear the lady who was giving the announcements, "Hey, you can't take that." And then you hear Tori,
She
like,
starts
"I'm
fighting.
coming for
Fight
you,
me."
bitch.
She's going. She starts airing everything out, because I think she actually says that, like, "Oh,
You know what you did.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, bitch."
Yeah, and then like everybody, as soon as the class lets out, everybody's fucking running. Like Miguel's like, "Oh fuck," Robbie's like, "Oh shit," and then,
Yeah, Robbie's like, what does she know?
okay, but he's like, "Oh, she's gonna go fight her," and then they start fighting, and then Robbie and Miguel start fighting.
And I like to say that whole part, it was so immersive, because I remember watching it. I'm just like, whoa, like, because it was like there was a fight here, the other Cobra Kai people versus the people who left Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
There was that dude who was friends with the other guy who stayed in Cobra Kai. They fought, the two little kids fought from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And then it was just like that there, and the Stingray tried to be a fucking security guard.
Yeah, he was interviewing
He's
to be a
interviewing to be a
goddamn
security guard.
Yeah.
And the principal's asking him like, "So what experience do you have?" He's like, "Well, I don't want to like flex too hard, but I'm fucking Cobra Kai. I'm a fucking karate master
Who?
at this point." You know?
And then,
I think he said he was like a yellow belt or
Yeah.
some shit like that, which is like a third level.
and so like security can't handle these kids. He was like, "I'll do it." And then he was like security, but he was attacking the Miyagi-Do
He's
people.
just beating up all the Miyagi-Do
He
kids.
was helping up
In,
the Cobra Kai
in defense,
kids.
he did stop it. But, and then you get to fight, and then Tori and
Yeah, there's nobody stopping.
and that's
You're
the thing
not
about the show
stopping
really
Tori
quick.
and
There's no
Sam.
security anywhere when you need it. All these fights never were broken up until the very end, until someone was finished.
Well,
Yeah.
the fight in the mall was never broken up. It was just ended because Miyagi-Do
How would the
won.
fuck you try to stop that in? What the fuck? I don't get paid
You got,
enough for this.
you got everybody else
Yeah,
around.
if I freaking rent a cop, dude. I'm not stopping the karate kids. What do you fucking mean? Hell no.
And then yeah, so you get
They're
Tori
probably sitting there watching, saying, "I wish I could do that."
and then you get Tori and Sam, and they're fighting, and then it's like a fucking
it's
like,
fucking
getting
intense.
kicked in the chest, and then she took her belt off or something, and she wrapped it around her hand, which had spikes on it. And she's
Yeah.
punching her. She's getting cut. They're fighting down the stairs, and then Miguel comes try to stop it, and then Robbie's like,
Don't you put your hands on her.
and then they start fighting, and it's like some Star Wars.
Wasn't it the other way around though?
Oh, maybe it
Robbie,
was. Yeah,
Robbie
yeah.
tried to stop the fight
fight.
between, and he ended up at one point he ended up putting his hands on Tori.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think
what
you're right.
pissed Miguel off.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and then okay, my bad.
So then, but that was way earlier. So, but by this
Yeah.
time they've all been just going at it.
Yeah,
They're
then you-
tearing up the school,
and then-
kicking each other's
Yeah,
asses.
you have fucking Tori and Sam down here, like fighting mid-level. Then you have fucking Daniel. You have Miguel and fucking Robbie fighting up here, and they're going all out. And eventually, the girls get stopped. Basically, right? I forgot.
because they hear something. Well, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
remember
I
how
think
they got
no, they don't
separated.
stop. They don't sit separate. They're fighting, but then the fight with Robbie and
Or no, it was Sam. She actually gets a good hit on Tori, and Tori like rolls down some steps.
okay.
If I remember right. If I'm remembering right.
That makes sense.
And then, but you have Robbie and Miguel fighting, and then you see Miguel gets the upper hand, and Robbie's like on the ground,
Yeah.
and he's about to finish it, But
and then he remembers
Johnny-
what Johnny
he remembers
taught him.
the guy because Johnny brought up after the tournament.
There's a
He's like, there's a difference between no mercy, and no honor.
yeah, so
And it causes him to freeze, and then Robbie gets up and just
he didn't.
center mass nails him with a kick.
Yeah, he didn't freeze. He basically said
Well, he
he
let
was-
up.
stopped.
He stopped.
Yeah.
He was gonna go, and then it was Robbie who did the no mercy thing, and then kicked him like a good kick off the balcony down the stairs, and his back hit the railing, and that's when it's like, oh, we
And-
should stop.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he falls off the railing, and then does he hit on one of the landings, or does he hit like the bottom floor?
He hits the railing and then falls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. He
His
goes
back
over.
hits
He
the-
goes over one railing, hits another,
yeah, and
Yeah.
then he
And
falls
then
on the steps.
yeah.
and then
Okay.
that's when everything happens.
and
you
then
know.
Robbie runs off. Now, I do going back and rewatching that. I do want to note one thing. I don't think Robbie did it on. I mean, I'm sure he kicked him on purpose, but I don't think he had the intention of having the effect it did.
Well,
No, yeah,
and I think,
yeah, no.
and I think
It was an
because
accident.
because he hadn't realized that Miguel had dropped his defense.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
just-
because that because he let up and he wasn't defending himself properly, he couldn't stop himself.
yeah, and then the fast forward to end, like, basically.
Everybody's in the hospital
Everyone's
now
in the
except for
hospital.
Robbie. We have no idea where Robbie is.
Yeah.
We don't know if Miguel is even going to be able to walk again.
Yeah.
He's fighting for his life.
The
because
mom-
that's the implication. Once you take a blow to the back like that, is that you might be fucking paralyzed.
Yeah.
The mom says, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, she basically tells Johnny she never wants to see him again.
Lauren,
Daniel
Daniel is basically like,
and his wife are in the hospital room with Sam, and Sam's getting stitched up, and
she
his
says
wife.
no more.
Yeah, she
basically.
says no more,
So-
no more karate. You're done.
Yeah, and then
It cuts to the beach after that, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, because the mom tears into Johnny too. Like in this scene, she's like, oh, you know what you've done to him. Like he used to be such a sweet boy, this and this and this, but he's changed, and you did everything, and this, you did this to him, and this is all your fault. He wouldn't have been in any of this if it weren't for you.
Which I think she'll come around eventually.
I hope so.
We can
She's
talk
hot.
about that.
Maybe I don't know
I hope Johnny gets
because this well, I'm pretty sure he's gonna walk again because
yeah.
he's like a main character.
Well,
Plot.
you never know.
Plot.
You
Plot
never know.
armor.
Plot.
You know?
It could be a way.
But so if he doesn't end up being able to walk and do stuff again, then absolutely she will fucking hate this man's guts forever. I know,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But if he does heal and he gets back to it, I know he's gonna rally for Johnny. He's like, no, he was trying to teach me to be better. Like,
Yeah.
like I was being ruthless, and he tried to tell me that I shouldn't be, and everything. And so there's gonna be that.
But anyway, so the end scene is now what we didn't mention before
Yeah, I was
was
just thinking
when
about it.
Johnny first got his he actually got a modern day cell phone, a smartphone.
He's on
He
Facebook.
got on Facebook and he was thinking about messaging Allie from the original Karate Kid, who was originally his girlfriend
yeah.
and then was Daniel's girlfriend. He was originally thinking about messaging her, and while he was actually waiting for a date at one point, he had written up a message but was about to delete it when he got bumped into.
Yeah, it was like a message like, oh hey,
and then
I
he-
want to like reconnect.
He
Whatever.
accidentally sends the message in the
Yeah.
friend request. And so when he's sitting on the beach, he's reflecting over everything that has just recently happens. He gets a buzz from his cell phone, and he's in that state where he's mad at everything right now, and he chucks his cell phone into the sand, gets in his car and drives off, and then the camera hard cuts to his cell phone, and it's Allie accepting his friend request.
Yeah.
And then it ends.
Yeah.
So now, this part we'll talk about what we think is going to happen in season 3, because there's a lot of stuff out there now. Thanks to basically some of the actors who play the characters, they have social media, because it's not like an Avengers kind of thing where they can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not that big of.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Not that big of a production.
there's no point of hiding stuff, because there's some people who some of the actors talked about season 3 people who are coming in, and then so basically also when they talked about adding Allie, talking about Allie in the show, they mentioned that her husband is a doctor basically, and that doctor
Yeah.
specializes in what happened to Miguel. like I want to say a spinal doctor, but
It's like spinal reconstruction and stuff
yeah,
like that.
and
like,
she
and like
his
nerves.
her husband is that. So so that adding friend, that's probably what's going to happen. That they're gonna somehow
that seems like that's what they
gonna
have
help him
planned.
to walk again, or help him go, or just fix him so he can walk again. And then
I thought they said he was like a neurologist or something like that.
Well, I don't. It wasn't a neurologist. It was like I forget how they said it.
yeah, because they
But
put
it has to do with like your nervous system and everything.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
and that's what probably because they threw that out there because at first like after watching the show, I'm like, oh, that's weird of them to say, but then you see this happen, so that has to play into what
Yeah,
comes because
that makes sense.
because she's confirmed to come back, or she's not to come
she's
back.
already been confirmed for the third
And
season.
Yeah.
is it the same actress?
Yeah,
It is.
everyone should be the same. I'm pretty sure everyone is the same.
Well, well, I'd hope.
Yeah.
But so far they've done a pretty good job. Like literally everybody who who is an old
Even-
character is their old actor.
Yeah, even the three guys who were Johnny's friends in Cobra Kai
Oh,
that were
shit.
for that episode,
Yeah.
they were all three of the original actors.
Fuck, we forgot. But
Oh yeah, your little trivia note. Yeah, go ahead and say it.
no, not the trivia. Fucking the end when they took Johnny the dojo away from Johnny Lawrence. Kreese.
Oh
basically-
yeah,
yeah.
John
Yeah, the
Kreese took
mastermind-
it.
yeah.
So when he went to the dojo and John Kreese had like bought the dojo out from under him and was training the students.
Because
Without him.
because basically the person that Daniel tried to talk to buy the strip mall from him, Kreese reached out to him and says, "Oh, he already didn't like you, and I'm cool, Basically, he's like, I'm a smooth talker."
Because they also mention like when he talks to the landlord or whatever, they have a handshake deal. It's not like on
Yeah.
paper that this place is his or whatever. It's like kind of off the books.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
they got it in.
Yeah, but now Kreese probably has it on the books with the money and everything, has like
Yeah.
a written signed deal.
And that's when he goes to the beach and fast forward. But yeah. And then so he lost his dojo. So
He lost his dojo. He lost his best student.
yeah, and now
And lost his boo thing.
Yeah.
damn.
He lost everything
And
again.
it's all fucking Danielson's fault again.
How is it Daniel's fault this time?
It's his fault. If he didn't teach Johnny's kid karate,
If he just
this wouldn't
fucking
have
sold cars.
If he just sold cars and minded his own goddamn business, none of this would happen. Instead, he's got to have a dick measuring contest with a guy whose ass he already kicked. He's like, yeah, I already kicked his ass. I'm a rich. I don't have to
Technically,
fucking do
he kicked his
anything.
face.
Yeah, whatever. And he could have just left it at that. But he's like, no, he's trying to fucking rise up and not be in the shits anymore. Fuck that.
No one can do that.
Stay
in
down
my-
there.
I have the best
Honestly,
car dealership in the Central Valley. No one can do that but me.
He doesn't even have the best car dealership in the valley anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
He's losing all of his good sales reps to the other guy.
Yeah. So that's another thing we can talk about. I didn't really mention it because basically season 2 was basically that Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do. There were some other things we left out, but
Yeah, Daniel's whole
I
fucking...
mean,
his
we
whole
talked
conflict,
about most of the important
Yeah.
stuff, though.
Daniel's
That's the
son's whole
thing.
conflict was that he's trying to balance Miyagi-Do with his dealership responsibilities and his parenting responsibilities, and he can't fucking do it because he sucks.
Sorry.
And
Yeah.
so the wife is like, hey, the dealership's getting fucked over right now because the employees don't like you because you're not there. I have to do all your fucking work. This, and that. And he's like, oh, well,
I thought for sure at one point he was going to pull like a Tony Stark and sign the business over to his wife.
I honestly, that would have been better, I think. I don't know if she would have, appreciated that because her thing was that she just wanted him around. You know what I mean?
Because even they show flashbacks, they did this together. They made the decision to go out because I guess he worked already for like a good dealership, and then he wanted to make his own, and she was like, "We can do it together." Remember they had that together montage when they sold cars too.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think she would have appreciated it because it was a together thing. But if he would have signed it to her, then it would have just been a her thing, and he basically said, "Oh, whatever."
and then he's doing the karate thing by himself, and so it would have been like, no matter what, there was like no good way to handle the situation he put himself in.
So
Well, then maybe what he needs to do is get his wife back into karate.
I don't think she was ever into karate.
They alluded to it at one point.
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
There was a comment where he says, "Well, why don't you join me in the dojo?" She goes, "The last time that happened, we had Sam."
Oh shit.
But yeah, so with that, I feel like the whole. So we already talked about how we think Miguel's gonna be.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So he's gonna be in recovery at least.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I think what's gonna happen in this season with Daniel and Johnny, I feel like all the build up between, because they have those moments where they're like cool with each other. I feel like they're gonna come together and pick up what's left of. Because the whole thing about Miyagi-Do, it's defense, which Cobra Kai is attack. So
Yeah, strike
I feel
first, all
strike
that shit.
first, and then I feel like Johnny is gonna teach what the Miyagi-Do kids how to attack, because they're already good at defense. We already seen it. They beat the fucking Cobra Kai kids countless of times.
Yeah,
Even Hawk.
even Dimitri beat Hawk.
Yeah, Dimitri. Yeah, we didn't even talk
Oh,
about that.
fuck.
Dimitri and Hawk fought during the school fight, and Dimitri beat Hawk.
Yep.
So they're already good at defense, but they need to know how to attack, because Cobra Kai is going to come at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to work together under Miyagi-Do.
Yeah, because Daniel can't teach as much as he wants.
Mhm.
Johnny no longer has a fucking dojo to teach at,
Yeah.
so it only makes sense that like, oh,
There's
we
no way
can
Daniel's gonna let
come
Johnny
together.
teach his way to the Miyagi-Do. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I could see something like what you're saying, a merging of the two styles.
Mhm.
yeah.
But I feel like eventually, because I don't know, because like Manuel said, Daniel is already like basically fucking up the car dealership,
Mhm.
and he already basically, the dojo is done, so he couldn't balance it, which is funny because his whole thing is balance, and he couldn't balance it. But,
Yeah, it's this whole fucking like thematic thing. It's like, oh, balance, you know. Oh, we gotta.
So I feel like eventually, because I don't know, because I wouldn't see what Daniel can do after season 3. Because I don't even know if they're gonna get the dojo back, if Cobra Kai is gonna be the villains again, or if he's gonna get Cobra Kai and then fight a bunch of other dojos other than Miyagi-Do. You know what I mean? Because like in in Karate Kid, they go to Japan. They can go to Japan in one episode.
I don't think they're gonna.
I know they don't, but you know what I'm saying. They could do other
Yeah.
things like they did in the movies.
Yeah.
You can't just
You know
take
what?
to the Central Valley.
So if we're just gonna talk like predictions, I have a wild one. I think Kreese is gonna fucking die.
That'd be
I think
crazy.
he's gonna die in season 3.
Die of a heart attack.
Yeah. So my thing. So this is just something I
That's
imagine.
not a bad idea.
It's not. It's just something I imagine right now. Is that there's
What
gonna
is
be
it with you
there's
and
gonna be
just
like
randomly
there's gonna be
killing
a
people?
confrontation.
I'll tell you.
There's gonna be a confrontation between Johnny and Kreese. They're gonna like fight in the dojo, and like Kreese is gonna keel over and go, and he's
Yeah,
gonna
but
have a heart
they
attack and die.
They already did that once and it didn't happen.
It's gonna happen this time
No,
because
no.
he's old.
I don't know, because like I said, like I really don't know, because they can go multiple ways, but I really don't know if they brought back Cobra Kai just to make them the bad guy, because they were doing such a good thing.
It would break up so much like
Yeah,
thematic build up if they did that.
because I feel like he's gonna get the dojo back. Some that will probably be a good way, because I wouldn't know how they get rid of Kreese, because I don't think Kreese will just walk out after like being defeated, because unless the whole dojo turns against them and they finally see that Johnny was right.
Yeah, and I
guess.
think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then
that is
The
something.
dojo
incredible.
has to turn
What if Hawk
against
beats
him.
his ass? That'll be crazy.
Yeah, what if
that
Hawk
would-
kicks the shit out of him? Oh my god, that's who I want to talk about for
Or Hawk
predictions.
sacrifices himself to
I-
kill Kreese.
Oh my
What's
god,
you talking about?
If
Me
Hawk kills-
sacrifice?
if Hawk kills Kreese, oh my god, then he goes to jail. Oh my god, Hawk.
Then he goes to MMA, and then he just like it's a whole spin off Hawk. It's just called Hawk.
Yeah, we get a whole spin-off show about Hawk. I'm like,
Hey,
oh,
YouTube,
god.
we've got a spin-off show for you.
Oh god,
Yeah.
because honestly, like I said, Hawk is like the character I'm most invested in. I hope he gets to redeem himself. I really hope. I don't feel like they're going to just yet. Like, so I feel like season 3 we're definitely going to see some more fucking like sleazy fucking asshole Hawk.
Yeah.
I hope by the end of season 3 he starts to turn around, and then maybe like in a season 4 we get to see like.
And I think when he
it'd be
starts
cool.
when he starts alienating his friends within Cobra Kai, that's when he's gonna realize, oh yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah. Maybe Kreese will do that fucking thing he did to Johnny, and he's gonna fucking put Hawk in a fucking headlock and try and kill him.
See, I don't think that would work against Hawk though. I think that would just
But
in his current
it's
state, in
not
his-
gonna work on Hawk. But he's gonna try it. Hawk's gonna break out of him. He's like, "Oh, you're a fucking bastard. I remember this now, and then he turns around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they do a lot of things like that, where they could like sort of like, oh, we did this in the first one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Kreese is already pushing him in that kind of a way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be
So
something.
he's gonna, and then because we already know that Hawk can be beaten, and so if he loses something that's like big, Kreese is gonna fucking turn on him, and Kreese is gonna like bring something down on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so basically I don't know what they're gonna do because like I feel like Johnny is gonna get back Cobra Kai, but I would like because in the interview
I hope so.
Because in the interview they asked him like how many seasons do you guys think? I was like, oh, we'll do as much as you know as the fans want, which is cool. You know what I mean? But you got to think how many times like there has to be something else. You know, maybe there's like a bigger, badder Cobra Kai-esque dojo there, you know, out there, but they can also travel to different places, and you know they can do all sorts of other stuff. But it's crazy to see how far it could go.
Well, no, wasn't there also another confirmed actor leak?
Oh yeah, the guy,
the guy from Karate Kid 2 who teaches Daniel.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
When Daniel joins Cobra Kai, is he coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back. Yeah, because they showed him doing the makeup and stuff for they're already recording it, so he can come back. He can come back. Yeah, basically as his number 2, like he was in Cobra Kai.
Oh, is that what they're gonna do? They're gonna make him like
another teacher,
secondary,
which I feel like
the Kreese lieutenant.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're gonna do because he's gonna.
So Johnny's gonna have to go through him first.
Yeah, maybe that'd be cool. Yeah, and try to fight him, and then.
Or maybe he
Daniel.
Ooh, I just thought of something. Maybe he comes back to teach Johnny in order to beat Kreese.
Maybe because we really
that would be a twist they would do.
Yeah, because
you
really don't know because obviously they're not in contact, so you really don't know how they feel because we're just assuming at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't know.
That's just a theory.
Yeah, and then for anybody who
not a film theory.
So if anyone wants
sponsor.
to watch the show, we encourage it, and also that
very good.
It hasn't been confirmed yet, but the actor who plays Miguel on his Instagram said that the whole next season season 3 is going to be available for everyone to watch. Usually you need YouTube Premium, but anyone can watch it. But if you don't have YouTube Premium, you can watch it for free, but there's going to be a lot of ads on there.
Yeah.
And then YouTube Premium people can see it without ads, which you can already not see ads.
Really, honestly,
I haven't seen an ad in like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube Premium's not that expensive. It really is kind of worth it, especially if you watch a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Here's what I'll tell you, because I told you guys this already. A YouTube, or not YouTube, a Google Play Music subscription, which is like Spotify, which is like Tidal, which is like all those other music subscription apps. If you get that, you also have YouTube Premium, and I think it goes vice versa. I'm not sure yet. I asked you guys to check that out, but I don't know if you have yet. I think it goes vice versa. If not, whatever. You get those two things for the price of one. Totally worth it. Because if you're already paying for Spotify, you might as well do Google Play Music, and then you get YouTube Premium.
And I think they did a great job with saying that the whole third season is going to be free, because just look how well they did with it just being YouTube Premium.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, I seen it a year late already, you know, because I didn't know. I didn't even fucking know.
I mean, YouTube Premium is fucking taken off.
Yeah, and then so they said, oh, we're going to release it to everyone to see. And it's already crazy because I took a picture when I went to Spencer's. They have a whole Cobra Kai section as it is.
Mm-hmm.
They have blankets. They have shirts. And I was flipping out. I was like, oh my God. And
then you know it's popular.
Yeah, it's popular. Yeah.
I saw a Cobra Kai dojo in the mall.
And I was running it.
That would be awesome.
and then even I was talking
sign up.
And I was talking to the guy about it because I'm a huge lanyard person. So I was like, hey, dumb question. I didn't see it over there in the Cobra Kai section. But you guys think you have lanyards? He was like, I don't know, probably. But he was like, don't you think it's kind of crazy how Cobra Kai is doing this? Like, have you fucking seen the show, guy? Fuck, it's fucking amazing. So yeah, even the fucking people at Spencer's were like, what the fuck? Cobra Kai? So it's everywhere. And it's like, it's a great show. If you haven't, even if you don't watch the first Karate Kids, they explain it with flashbacks in Cobra Kai, what they're talking about.
Yeah, so you can watch this without having watched the original Karate Kids, but watching them will kind of enrich the experience.
Yeah.
You know,
At least the first one. You really, that's the only one you really need.
at
to
least
see.
at least watch that one, and then you'll know more of what people are talking about. But like, because they explain everything pretty well. You know, you get the gist of everything. There's nothing like too in depth that you're like, oh hey, remember this one time we did this one thing, and I was like, I'm not gonna talk about it, but here it is, and they don't do that. They tell you exactly what they're talking about. Like they
several times.
They give you they give you enough context to understand it without having actually seen it.
Yeah, like I don't know how many times we've seen the same fucking tournament scene from the first Karate Kid.
They've replayed. Well, I mean that was
so many times.
Traumatic
in the
incident
season.
for this band, all right? Like he's like, yeah, I got kicked in the face and somebody tried to kill me. Like, oh my god, that ruined his whole life.
So yeah, so I would like I told Manuel and Josh to watch it. I told Manuel about it because I didn't tell Manuel about it. I talked about it every single day, and Manuel was like, "Fuck, dude, fuck, I'll watch it, fuck,
God."
And then I told Josh to watch it so we could do the episode. You know, I
ended up loving it. Yeah,
I'm telling everyone to watch it.
I enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did because just because of how like the attitude that like Johnny Lawrence has about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of an asshole, and I guess it's just his character. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so I kept watching. I was like, like a lot of the teen stuff just felt like generic teen drama trash, you know. But I was like, but I like it because because I enjoy that stuff normally. But
Manuel likes generic teen drama trash.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah.
But then just the layer of like karate stuff happening was like enough to like just make this like just so much more enjoyable.
And all the fights.
Now all we need to make it realistic is one of the girls get pregnant.
Oh God! If we go there, God, I'm over. Yeah. It's done.
And then, like, all the fights were amazing.
They did. They put a lot of work into them, and you can tell that like everybody was like just really on it with the choreography.
Yeah.
Like
that would. You have to admit though, it would be a little funny to see a pregnant woman doing karate in a tournament.
Anyway,
oh my God.
The fights were
okay. So the fights were good. Yeah. Everybody got a chance to like show off just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like everybody did something. You know? And then they added in like a bunch of, and you could see them use the techniques that they're being taught, because you see Robbie and Samantha do their fucking like weird avatar dance or whatever the fuck it was, you know, where they're like kata. Balance, you know, whatever, and you got to see them do that. You got to see them, you got to see the Cobra Kai kids do that like weird double punch thing or whatever that like Kreese taught them, I think, and just everything, and it's just good. It's just good enough.
If you guys,
it's not too cheesy. It's just cheesy enough.
Yeah, and it's doing very well from all the interviews, because I watched a lot of interviews for it. And it's just like it's a good show. You guys should definitely watch.
So the first episode is free. Like with like all YouTube premium shows, the first episode is like almost always free. Yeah. You watch the first episode right now. From the first episode, you will absolutely know if you like the show or not. Mm-hmm. It is enough. It's pretty. It follows itself throughout. Like there's not a real dips in quality, or you know, like it's pretty solid all the way through. Mm-hmm. You know, so every episode's kind of got enough drama, a little bit of karate. You know, all the other stuff's happening, character development's going on.
There is one theory we haven't talked about yet.
Which one?
That is the why it's Tori with a Y.
Oh yeah.
Fuck,
we forgot about that too.
Fuck, dude. Yeah. So basically in the first. I keep saying it. First Karate Kid. When they introduced the girlfriend, Johnny's girlfriend, it was Ellie with an I, and now Tori came and she is Tori with an I. So there's people
Tori
saying,
with a Y.
Tori with a Y. Fuck me. And then they're saying, oh wow, that's so similar. Maybe it's the daughter, because we don't know her parents at all. We haven't seen her.
Yeah, we haven't an inch of fucking parents.
So
I mean, she's talked about her past a little bit, but we don't know if that's absolutely true or not.
Yeah, because we know she lies. We know she's like a kind of.
She's a rebellious kid.
Yeah, so people are
even though she's like 25.
She steals and drinks and stuff.
She's like 25 playing a 17-year-old.
Well, that's everybody, all right? Yeah. Tom Holland's like 80
Okay, but Miguel is actually... The guy who plays Miguel is actually a 17-year-old. Technically, what they were doing in one episode is statutory rape.
No, wow.
No way.
Manuel's like... Never mind.
Is he really 17?
Yes.
Never mind. Don't watch the show.
Yeah, all right. Show's over. Canceled. Yeah, it's canceled.
But anyways, the people are theorizing that that's Allie's daughter, And
That'd be so weird though.
It would be weird.
From what they've set up so far, I don't think so.
Yeah, but people are theorizing that.
I think that was just a callback. You know what I mean?
It could have been.
I think it was just like a simple callback.
Yeah, it could have been.
But it's something that a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, well, because this is something that like has a lot of fucking like background to it. Like now, because the show is based on these 3 movies, and there's a lot to pick at in those 3 movies, and they're bringing stuff back at like. You know, because Kreese came back, and we didn't think Kreese was coming back. So, really, anything's on the table. Yeah. Really? Because, you know, just...
And, I mean, with how Star Wars has brought back characters with CGI, they can easily bring back Mr. Miyagi.
Let's not talk about... No, we're not going there. That's another hour added onto this episode. I think we're...
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, well, anyway. So, those were our theories. Those are some speculations.
Our talks about the show, how we like it.
So our general review is that it's okay, it's good, I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, Ted loves it.
Sorry, this one ran a little bit long, but we were talking about 2 seasons of
So the next time we do this, we should do 1 season at a time.
Oh yeah, we have to because they're only releasing 1 season.
Yeah, I mean
we're not gonna wait.
We're not gonna wait till the 4th
years.
season and sit there and talk about 3 and 4
next year. Season 3 and 4 come out
so
first.
As soon as season 3 comes out, we'll try and like binge it as fast as fucking possible.
Oh, I'm watching it first. I finished it. Like basically.
I mean, it really. They're only 23 minutes, most of them. And
some of them are over half an hour.
Okay,
half an hour.
But I mean,
one was like 40 minutes.
You could binge that in a 8-hour shift of work.
I just binged it in like one night. Like I started at like 8, finished it at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was like, all right. I was like, damn it, Ted.
Yeah, so let us know.
Let us know what you guys think.
What do you guys think about it? Yeah, if you think it's good.
Let us know if you've seen the show in the first place.
Yeah.
Let us. I want somebody to watch it without watching the Karate Kid, if you can, and then actually let me know if you understand everything, because maybe we were wrong about that, but we think you can watch it without watching Karate Kid.
I really think you can get away with watching it without watching.
Because when I watched Cobra Kai, I haven't seen the original 3, even the original for the longest period of time.
Yeah.
And even I was telling you stuff about, and you're like, for real, he was there, like. Yeah, so I talked about so you can go into it without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this might like reignite your interest in Karate Kid, and make you go back and watch those, and then because those are good movies. Honestly, they're pretty good movies.
Except for the one with Jaden Smith.
They're all good movies.
Except for the one with Jaden Smith.
Hey, if you can like Jar Jar or whatever.
I don't like Jar Jar.
I can like Jaden Smith. Now, what did you like? Oh, you liked episode 8. If you can like episode 8, I can like Jaden Smith Karate Kid.
All right, guys. Well, that's it with that. So please,
that's it.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Before we kill each other.
Follow Instagram. Follow Twitter. Let us know what you think, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
And if you don't hear Manuel in the next episode, you know what happened to him.
We need to actually like plug what those usernames and stuff are. So like, it's not gonna be this time, but next episode we'll actually plug what our usernames on Twitter and Instagram and whatever.
It's Nerds Make Sense.
Yeah, Nerds Make Sense
everywhere.
Yahoo.com.
Literally. No, I mean seriously, it's Nerds Make Sense on all of our social
but
media
at Yahoo.com.
Well, yeah, that's our email. That's our email.
That's how you get a hold of us.
and our social media.
We need to change that. It needs to be a Gmail like right away.
All right.
All right, we'll catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Hasta.